Welcome to this webinar where I'm going to share 20 strategies that successful digital marketing agencies implement so that you can actually follow along and learn all about what to do. My name is Clodagh Higgins. I am a business coach for digital agencies, and I've worked with over 500 different types of agencies all around the world over the last 6 years. I'm the host of an Agency Live podcast. That's the name of it. I used to own a digital agency, so I've got the scars, the highs and the lows. And I'm also the author of A Happy, Healthy Digital Agency. Now, before we get into the webinar, I just want to let you know that to get the most value out of this, everything I share in the value will make sense to you. You can actually take these strategies that the successful agencies implement. You can Google and look it up and do it yourself, but I will be revealing an opportunity to work with me directly, work with me and my team at the end of this video. So just to let you know now, so I don't want to waste any more time, so let's actually get cracking. First of all, you know it's not easy. Running a professional services business is complicated. That's what you're doing in having a digital marketing agency. And it's really hard sometimes to find information that works specifically for your industry. So who's this training for? If you have this constant feeling like something is not working, but you're not sure where to start, over the years of working with agency owners, one of the biggest challenges we've heard is being the realization that they're in a people-based business. And they figured out that they don't have any plans or processes on how to work together to be successful. In fact, in 2018, HubSpot surveyed over 1,000 agencies. This is an extract of that. Is that these are the top reasons that are preventing agencies from growing. They need more sales and marketing. They're struggling with cash flow, unable to hire the right talent. They're unable to differentiate themselves from other agencies. There's a lack of processes and procedures in the organization, and it's difficult for them to keep clients. Like, retention is a big problem. It's also too difficult to sell to new prospects. We've worked with hundreds of agency owners, and the following webinar is going to actually show you the key strategies that if you implement and you have them in place, they will help you overcome these pain points and help you grow your digital agency in 2020 and beyond. It'll help you improve revenue, improve your results, and improve your retention, both of clients and of your team. We have this blueprint. It's actually available on our website, and this is actually the backbone of what I'm going to be going through here. If these pillars are strong and in place, and each of the pillars, people, strategy, growth, services, sales, and marketing, once they're in place, and these are the 4 key tactics that we're going to talk you through now, once they're in place, you have set yourself up. So that's what we have analyzed over the years of what makes us an agency successful. You don't have to just trust my words. This is 3 of the agencies that we've worked with. We've worked with Matt from Influence Agents, and he's had a 400% increase in return on investment over the sales strategies that we advised him on. With Perry in Israel and Penguin Strategies, his delivery is going smoother, people are happier. And with Hoxo in London, they've had a huge turnaround in their business. In fact, the team doubled and the revenue doubled. So let's get actually stuck into this right now. So the first pillar that we're going to look at is the people pillar. The point of this is that you'd actually need to create an agency that attracts good fit clients and rock star employees. So the place to start here is to, first of all, assess the team that you have. You need to find out how happy is the team, doing an assessment, make sure it's anonymous. We usually advise to bring in a third party. Now, of course, we're available to do this work, but really you can get a HR specialist, you can bring in a consultant, and they can do an assessment of the team for you. While you're doing that, you're going to figure out what's working, what's not working, what they would like more of, what would they like less of. And then you can actually also, while you're doing that, assess their skills. Where's everyone at and where do they want to be? Do they want to be an individual contributor or do they want to be a manager? So the first place you need to start is, and this is what we've analyzed, is great agencies have a great team. They're experts, they're happy, they're part of the process, they understand things are going to change, and they're on board. So that's the first place you start. The next one you start with is to build a solid employee onboarding process. When you do bring people into the business, you must have a calendar for them so that they know every hour of every day for the first 90 days, what are they going to be doing? And there's so much that you can give them that's online. You can give them HubSpot certifications. You can give them your agency playbook, which I'll talk about that in later on. But you can give them digital marketer certifications. But the point is that you need to have a plan for them. You need to have them welcomed and ready. You need to make sure that they have a desk and a laptop ready. You need to plan it in your diary. So make sure the first 90 days are super special, onboard correctly. Don't put them under too much pressure. So successful agencies have a great onboarding process. The next area is to actually have an always hiring approach. The last thing you need is putting pressure on someone because you didn't hire them in advance. You know that feeling where somebody comes in and they need some time to be trained, but you don't have the time and you don't need them to take too long because you need them performing. So by always going out there and having an always hiring approach, building a bench of people, having people in the wings, like the rock stars out there, they're not looking for work necessarily because they need it. They might be in a job already and looking for a great new opportunity. So this is something else that we've seen that great agencies always have in place. They're never stuck for the next hire because they're either talking to them, they're in the process, or they're about to come into the business. The next thing is to build a culture code. Now, we've heard the whole culture, having agency culture and people culture, it's a huge buzzword, but a culture code is a series and a practice that you actually embed into the company, all built around your values, everyone in the business knows what it is. It's way more than just team building and, like drinks on a Friday or drinks at the end of the month. You would actually create an agency culture code, and then you will establish a committee around that. So the culture of the business, people know exactly what it is, what's good and bad, what it means for your clients. So this is what we have seen is if you have a really solid people pillar in your agency, you are going to have an incredible business and you're going to set yourself up. The next one that the successful agencies have is to make sure you create a clear vision and mission to communicate with your team. So this comes into defining your agency positioning. This is such an important part of having a successful agency. Like, who do you sell to? Who do you get results for? How do you do it? Is it a particular type of industry? Is it a particular, is it startups? What is it that you do really, really well? Next thing to look at is an accountability chart. Now, this is an organizational chart, the old version, but it's the new spin on it. And it comes from the Entrepreneurial Operating System. This is EOS. And you can go and, right now today, go and get the book Traction by Gino Wickman. And you can learn all of the tactics that we actually teach agencies. Well, some of them, because it's not all in Traction. It's also, we do a lot of custom work for agencies, but you will get the information on how to build an accountability chart. And once you have that in place, you will have people with roles and responsibilities. Their titles aren't as important as they used to be before. It's about what are they responsible for? What numbers do they own? And then you yourself are going to decide, what's the role of you as the agency owner? What are you responsible for every day? The days of coming in and running the business kind of ad hoc, you need to get beyond that in order to grow and be successful. Part of Traction you'll also learn in EOS is to build a vision traction organizer, and that helps you set up anywhere between 5 and 10 years plan. You can choose which one to do, but backing from that, you're going, what do you need to do in 3 years? What do you need to do in 1 year? And what are you going to focus on for the next quarter? It is the kind of new business plan. So Traction is a great book there to help you build the strategy. Now, I've been helping agencies implement EOS and coach them through that process. We've kind of customized what goes on in EOS to actually help digital agencies specific. But there's more on that later. The next area to focus on is to build a really solid growth plan and to get a better handle on your financials. The big guys, the successful agencies, they know their financials. They're not doing them. They've handed them over to the bookkeeper and the accountant, but they've got a really good grip on their numbers. So before you start there, if you can plan and define what is your growth path, you know, what size do you want your revenue agency to be when it comes to revenue? Do you want this number in revenue? Do you want X number in profit? Or do you want a certain type of size of agency? It's okay to want a small business. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But then you've got to be super profitable. What sort of revenue do you want? Are you working in the business full time? These are all questions that, you know, after a year, 2 years running your agency, you need to figure that out. And that's something we can help you with. You can also get a clear understanding of your agency financials by looking at all the numbers. You need to know your targets. You need to know your forecasting. That's a really big, important part of this. And it's so vague sometimes, you know, what numbers you're chasing. I often see agencies boasting about, oh, we're a $5 million agency. But when you dig in and you go under the numbers, you actually find out they're in single digits when it comes to profitability. And that's a really tough place to be. So knowing your numbers is another thing that the big guys know really well. The successful agencies know really well. Define your packages and pricing, and oh, please just get them up on your website. These days of hiding them it's just no longer, you know, everyone knows what every competitor is up to, and it's not about that. It's about making sure it's really clear that if you want to work with you, people know how much you cost. Even if you put ballpark up there, you know, make sure it's easy for people to know what you do, your packages, your pricing. And again, just back to one of the customers that we've worked with in the past, if you check out Penguin Strategies, you can actually see their pricing page, and it's super simple, and it's bringing them leads every single week. And that's something we helped Perry with, you know, with stop hiding the packaging and pricing, get it up there. Another thing that really successful agencies know is the profitability of each of your customers. And this is such a surprising element of running an agency. The guy that's been with you a long time, the clients that have been with you a long time, that pay you a good retainer, and you're like, oh, they're fine, you know, they're grand, they're definitely profitable. But when you dig in, you might be spending way too much time delivering something that they really don't see the value in anymore. And then what I've seen over and over again is just out of the blue, a big long-term client of an agency, they just stop working. And it's always a surprise to an agency going, well, I thought we had a long relationship. I thought you saw the value in what we did. You know, and then the agency discovers, oh God, they weren't actually that profitable for us. So another exercise that, you know, we can help you with, or you can go and do it yourself, is just to figure out who's profitable, the most profitable, the least profitable. Who do you like working with? What is the results you get? And analyzing them, and then making packages that sit there accordingly, and then back to your strategy for your positioning, going, hey, let's go out and get more of those type of clients. Next area to look at is services. Now, a strong services team, they're going to be the backbone of your business. Of course, sales are super important, but once you start selling, and then if services aren't delivering, the sales people can get quite, and if that's you as an agency, you can get quite nervous going, oh, I don't know if I should bring in this deal because I don't know if services can do it. And that energy, it just goes through an agency really quickly, and that's where things can unravel. So building rock solid sales to service handover process, one of the areas to actually get right. Is it smooth? Is there a meeting? Do you do it on Zoom? Do you do it in person? What is the process? So successful agencies have these systems in place. Rock solid sales to services handover. Next, They have established best practices in account management, their delivery, and their reporting. You know, a great thing to do is have a micro report going out to every client every single Friday at the end of the week. Hey, this is what happened this week. This is what didn't happen. This is what's carried over. Make sure there's a quick update every week. Make sure there's a proper one every month. Have a meeting, have it on Zoom, put your recording, put your video on so they can see your face, and record the video so you can send it over to the key decision makers afterwards. And then every quarter you should get together and have a strategy session with them and go, hey, look at all the stuff we did for you. Look at the results we got for you. And this is what we'd like to do more with you in the future. Or not. Maybe you didn't enjoy working with them and you can do an exit strategy and do a handover to another agency or back to in-house. A huge difference that makes to successful agencies is to have an agency playbook. And this is a list of all the best practices, how to do everything, how to do campaigns, how to create emails, how to set up social media. And even, the best agencies have a how to make a cup of coffee in the kitchen, how to set the alarm, how to, if you're the last person to leave from the office, how to close the office, how to open the office. An agency playbook is mentioned in the beginning as part of, you would have it as the onboarding process. It's a huge document. It lives online and there's different ways that you can host it, but it is a how-to of how everything works in your agency. Final area of the services pillar that agencies get, the successful ones anyway, get this right, is they map out from start to finish how services are marketed, how they're sold, and how they're delivered in your agency. It's like your secret sauce, but it ain't secret. You're actually putting it up online. So when somebody looks and goes, I wonder how these guys do it, they know your marketing material, they can see your content, they know the process, they know what happens next, they know your sales to services handover, they know the account management, they know how often they're going to get reports. So they know how everything is delivered. Now, of course, you're not going to put in your agency playbook on your website. That's something you keep in-house. But if you showed it to clients and went, look, we actually have a process for everything in their business, that helps clients get rid of the kind of spooky feeling. They go, God, these guys know what they're doing. We're not the first client. They have a system. They have a process. Everyone loves a process and a system. So key thing that if you're looking at the big guys and you're looking at the successful agencies and go, geez, how did they get there? This is another pillar that they've in place. Part of the 5 that I'm discussing here, part of the 20 strategies that I'm covering off in this webinar. Here's another one that they get right. And then finally, now I know I say it finally because you're in digital marketing, you do sales, you will do CRM, you do web and UX and development and all of that. But streamlining your sales process for success is just a huge part of the successful agencies that that have this done right all over the place. They have tight buyer's journeys and a sales process. They don't let any leads slip through. They have templatized sales presentations and proposals for quick turnaround. They don't spend longer than 10, 15 minutes getting a proposal out to a hot lead. And that is such an important part of this. You shouldn't be reinventing the wheel every time. And the successful agencies, they have marketing campaigns that attract ideal clients for the services that they're really good at and that get results and that are profitable. It all comes back to the previous pillars, having them strong. Everything is interlinked here. Successful agencies too, they host live in-person seminars. They don't let everything up to online. They want to educate their target market. So they hold breakfast seminars or evening events or all-day conferences, whatever way is going to work for your industry. You got to get in front of them. It's a great way to educate. So there's nothing in here that you cannot do. Like, all of this is something that you can Google, you can look, you've got this recording now, you can go back, you can make your lists. But, at the start of this video, I did explain that if any of this, that you're going, God, I'd love to learn more, we can actually help you in some way. So I'm actually going to, I told you I was going to reveal how you can work with me. And with all the years of experience I have and the team that I have here and Grow It, we've actually put something together that we're really excited to share. We have a digital agency business toolkit course. So let me walk you through that. And that's a complete set of proven business tools to increase revenue, increase the results and retention in your agency. So you don't have to figure it all out on your own. It's based on our proven methodology, which is From a Happy, Healthy Digital Agency, the book, which we then have implemented into our clients, and they're all around the world. And it focuses on people, strategy, growth, services, sales, and marketing. So if we go back through what would actually be in the course is we would help you create an agency that attracts good fit clients and rockstar employees. So part of the training goes into, you would learn how to get clarity in your agency, vision and mission, and your why. You're going to understand the differences between entrepreneurs and employees. And this is a huge one, that when you open your business, you do a lot of things on your own. But in order to scale, in order to get to where you want to be, you have to learn how to manage a team of people, or at least get to a point where you can hire a people manager so they can answer all the questions. And we're going to help you understand that. You're going to learn how to create a culture code. We give you all the information on what works and what we've created before. You'll get training plans, so that onboarding and that training plans, the recruitment strategy, all of those things that we've just talked about that successful agencies have in place, we're going to give you the templates. So you're not starting out with a blank spreadsheet. You're actually going to start out with the templates that you can build on. Next in the course is why strategy is important. You're going to learn about, the fundamentals of what works there. You're going to build out your agency positioning. This is a huge exercise for you if you're on your own in the business. Take yourself off for an afternoon and answer all the questions. Really dig into, why did you set this business up? If you're in a partnership, we recommend taking the agency positioning. Each person does it separately, and then you come together and see, what are the differences? Where are you not aligned and where are you on the same page? Really important thing to do if you're in a business partnership, even more especially if you're an agency couple. We've worked with a lot of those over the years as well. You're going to learn how to build a new organizational chart, and you're going to figure out the role of yourself in the business. Like, what are you going to do in the future? Today, you're wearing all these hats, and it can be extremely overwhelming. You have to do operations, HR, finance, sales, marketing, but it's not going to be like that forever. No matter what size of business you're going to build, you need to hand over those particular roles in your business. And so people in your company need to see that. The bonus that we've put in here is actually Perry, like I've mentioned him a few times now, he's done an agency specialization webinar. He has taken an area that he couldn't figure out for a long time, and he shares how is he specializing in a certain type of industry and how he did that. And that's part of that pillar training as well. Next on the course is how to build a growth plan and get a better handle on your financials. So the first part of that is a video on how are you going to grow your agency, and it's all part of that questioning and positioning. What are you building? Where are you going? What does it look like in the future? And it could be anything you want to be. It's just knowing which way to go. We have a whole series, like it's probably the biggest series in here, about your agency financials, all the templates, how to forecast, how to do sales targets. That customer profitability exercise, we actually give that to you. We actually show you how to look at all your customers, and we give you the spreadsheet and the templates with all the formulas in there. Same one for packaging and pricing. Same templates are going to be in there with videos of how to do your sales targets, how to do your reporting, how to do your forecasting. And then we show you an agency financials dashboard. There's two bonuses in this training as well, is how to get your agency financially fit, and how much is your digital agency worth? I mean, do you want to sell it in the future, or do you want to pass it on to your kids? Like, what's the plan for your business? Something that a lot of agency owners forget to sit and reflect upon. So we take you through that. Services, such an important part. If you get the sales coming in, the services team needs to be rock solid. How strong is your services team as part of this course? You're going to know how to do a client services weekly team meeting. We're going to show you how to do an agency team assessment survey. Like I said, definitely worth getting an outsider in, even if it's just a project to do that. But we're going to give you the survey instead of going, oh, I wonder what I should ask my team. We're going to give that to you. Your competency skills map. How are you going to create a center of excellence? We have the template there and a video about how to actually ask your team to fill it out and what you will do with the team after they do fill it out. How to create training plans for the whole team. We give you a sales to account management handover process, a really important part there. It can fall down, you know, the salesperson's super enthusiastic, but then they hand it over to account management and they don't do it properly. And then it's a bad start for the client. We want to stop that. The first few days are so important when you're onboarding a new client. And while you want sales involved, you don't want them stuck into that process. You want them in for the minimum amount of time so that they can get back out and start selling again. Part of the training as well is how to build a client management in the agency services, like the whole area of how do you manage your clients? When do you do the reporting? How often do you do reporting? What are you actually building for the clients? Take you through a whole process that you can build out for yourself. And an agency playbook. We talked about that as well. Having an agency playbook is such an important part of owning a successful agency. So we actually give you the training on how to do that. We also talk about project management and time tracking tools, all the different ones that are out there. Like if you can't measure the time that things are spending in your agency, never has the phrase time is money been more important when it comes to a digital marketing agency. So we're going to talk to you about how you get that right, how to create new services in your agency. So many times agencies start out, oh, we'll just add another, you know, CRM sales enablement process and, you know, we'll package into our actual services list, but they never scope it out fully. There are 26 steps and we give you those steps on how to create a new service in your agency and from start to finish. And that has been a game changer with anyone we've worked with. Finally, client reporting. How are you going to do reports? And a huge one here that can totally derail an account is out of scope requests. So many agencies don't know how to handle them, and that can, you know, cost the business money and cost clients. It's such an area that has never really been properly documented, and we actually have that. It's all part of this course. Next is sales in the digital agency business toolkit course. It's all around streamlining your sales process for success. So part of this pillar is you're going to understand what is agency sales today, what do you sell and why do you sell it? The training includes what is the buyer's journey on your website, agency sales process, you know, from start to finish. Is it really logical what happens next? And have you explained that? Have you actually shared that with prospects going, this is our sales process, this is our timeline, this is what happens next? Then sales presentations, how to build presentations that you templatize, proposals that you templatize, and then those proposals turn into contracts. So it doesn't go from, oh yeah, we like that proposal, can you send us a contract? There should be no delay. That as soon as that conversation has, you can turn the proposal into a contract, get it over there, and we show you how to do that. Some of the bonuses that are part of here are sales forecasting, packaging and pricing, how to do them, and how to create new services in your agency. And the final pillar in your digital marketing agency training is marketing today. Like we do an overview of where things are at. What is your current marketing strategy? We dig into that with you. We go through a little journey of the MarTech industry, marketing technology industry, past, present, and future. And then the next part is offline to bring online. Like if you are serious about niching in, finding your agency specialization, positioning yourself in a target market, you've got to get in front of these people, you know, offline in person, and then bring them online into your business. And an area here that's a huge opportunity for digital marketing agencies in the future is the digital transformation solutions that you can offer to clients. So we're actually giving you a template and a walkthrough of how you would create that. If you're thinking about what does my agency look like in 2024, 26, 28, beyond, what are you actually going to be doing? And a digital transformation is a huge opportunity. And we've also included in there the agency specialization webinar, which we've actually got at the top, but we've got included it in here as well, because it's so important, because there's no way you can review things and sometimes you miss it out. So you want to see it through the marketing lens as well. So here we are. What is included? It's how-to videos, 14 plus hours, and it grows all the time. We update for free. As the minute we do a new template, we put it in there. So you're going to get all our templates, checklists, and blueprints that are proven to get results. These are tested in the field. This is not academic. We have a private Facebook group where people can share and ask questions. We'll do a monthly group coaching call, and we'll probably do it in 2 time zones in the beginning, and maybe even capture the third, because I have worked with agencies in Australia and New Zealand as well. You get a Slack channel for those instant questions that you're like, do you know what, I'm stuck here, I need to get that. Now, one of the questions we get asked all the time is, okay, how much time do I have to invest on my side? Because we're giving you all the materials, but of course, we're not doing it for you, And if you want us to do it, more closely with you, we can. But this is where it all comes to how many hours. Now, we've done some ballpark here, and don't get scared of the numbers. You can delegate this out to your team. You can work as a team on it, and you can do it over 90 days, 6 months, 9 months. Some of the agencies we work, they took their time, but within a year, they totally transformed their business and set it up to be much more scalable, successful, and valuable. That's the key thing here. So now the course itself is $1,999, but what I'm doing at the moment, I'm just going to do a limited offer. I'm going to do it with 10 people for $999. And the reason I'm doing it for that is because I really want to get some testimonials. We want to work closely with you. I want to test a couple of these things. So I'm offering it half price so that we can get it. If you're interested, come on in. Now, we've done this work before one-on-one, but we've never done it in a digital course like this. So it's all the training material, and I really want to get feedback. So this is a limit offer. If you're interested, just drop me a line. We're going to talk you through how to get that. This is what the portal looks like. You go in, everything is branded, it's documented. You can see on the right-hand side, you've got your people, strategy, growth, services, agency. You can see how many videos are in there. You can see your progress. And then you flick over to the other side, you've got your checklist, all your templates, and you download. And like I said, you get stuck, you can ask us in Slack. You can put a note into the Facebook group, and we'll have the monthly coaching calls as well. And then as a bonus for this, what I'm going to add in here as well, if this is something that you're like, you know what, I really am interested in this, I'm going to throw in a free 90-minute consulting meeting to go through the individual challenges in your own agency. And then from there, I'll do a customized, what are you going to prioritize in the next 90 days? So if all of the pillars are really overwhelming, we're going to knuckle it down to, no, you're going to do this pillar first, then you're going to do a tiny bit of that, and we're going to plan the next 90 days. And that's the bonus that I'm going to offer in here. So if you'd like to learn more, drop us a line at hello@growgroup.com, or if you're watching this video on any of the platforms, there's comments underneath. You can put a comment in, you can add it in, and I would absolutely love to work with you. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, they're all the things that we have analyzed, the 20 strategies that successful digital agencies do. That's what they do. That's what makes them successful. They have those things in place. Of course, you can go and do it off on your own. Or if this is something that you're like, you know what, I would like some help, I would like to get a foundation stone, sign up, get the limited offer, and I will see you on the other side. Have a great day. Thank you for being on the webinar.